Solana. Solana had another outage, and we all thought we're good now. And, we thought the Solana team has fixed all the bugs that lead to these outages. And we've had none for like 6 to 9 months. But now, last weekend, this thing, right? 19 hours outage. Yeah, crazy. Okay, welcome, guys. I'm Blockchain Bernie. And what is happening with Solana, and why are we qualified to say something about that? So we are building the storage layer for Solana, and we are also operating Solana validator nodes, right? So we were involved, and I was personally involved in those calls that happened last weekend with the outage that happened there. I think the duration of the outage, like almost 19 hours, that was mostly because validators among each other, they didn't communicate really well and they didn't make decisions quickly and stuff like that. And we had a post-mortem call about that this morning, all the Solana validators. It was a great call, and there's a lot of action items to do. But I want to talk about, why is this happening? Why does this happen with Solana? Why does it not happen with Bitcoin or Ethereum or stuff like that? So there is that blockchain trilemma. You might have heard of that. The trilemma is three things. It is security, it is scalability, and what is the third one? And the blockchain trilemma is security, scalability, and decentralization, right? And the trilemma just says, well, it's just not possible to have all three of these. You'd have to sacrifice one of those. And I personally feel with all my heart and brains that Solana has actually solved that blockchain trilemma, right? They are highly decentralized. I know there's other people that say it's not true and so on and so forth. I dived into all of the details, and it's one of the most decentralized chains. And I'm one of the 2,000 something validators that run the Solana blockchain. And I can say from my own experience, it is one of the most decentralized chains that is out there. And it's definitely the most scalable smart contract chain that I know about. And it is also super secure, right? There was never any transaction that was not correct, or with the outages and restarts that they had, there were never was any user transaction affected, right? So these three things, Solana has actually solved that, and they are, as far as I know, the only chain that has solved that. And now there are people that say, it's the dilemma, and they must not be decentralized because there is that trilemma, right? But they are decentralized. So, but the thing they have is, it's called liveness, right? Is the system live all the time so that we can actually use it, right? And that is the big problem Solana is suffering from. And that is a problem for decentralized finance when you have taken a loan and then, you have stop losses, or, kind of positions are being liquidated because prices of tokens move and stuff like that. And then you cannot act for hours and hours. And then once it comes back, boom, you're being liquidated or stuff like that. This is all crazy stuff, right? So it is a very, very serious incident. Even though all assets are secure and everything, I repeat that, but we need that chain live most of the time, right? And that is the big issue that Solana is fighting with. I still have great confidence that this problem is being solved as we speak, right? It is a question of making that software, that Solana validator software, better and better. And, I see definitely what people are discussing there. And what is fascinating about Solana Labs is, all their internal discussions about the core engineering team, which is basically, their employees, they work for Solana Labs. but they don't talk in private on some Slack. They talk in public on Discord, right? There are some channels where, external people cannot post, but they can read everything, right? So, and it's so cool. And you see Anatoly Yakovenko there himself taking part in technical discussions. And in the channels where I can post, he's responding to me and stuff like that. He's liking my tweets and, discussing stuff with me on Discord, which is fantastic, right? And it's still like $1 billion chain, right? It has several billions in market cap, right? So it's not a small thing. And we're building their storage layer, which is also fantastic, and it's going to be just as large as a thing. And yeah, I still have, the trust in the Solana team that liveness problem will be tackled. And, with the introduction of quick and local fee markets and all that type of thing, it has become way, way, way better, right? And it was very unfortunate that last weekend they had another outage, and the reason is unclear, right? We don't really know yet what the reason is. We surmise that it was part of that 1.14 release. So everyone rolled back to 1.13, and now we're going to be testing out the 1.14 on the Solana testnet, right? And that is one of the things that the Solana community learned from that. Have more tests on testnet before it's going to go live on mainnet, right? So, and they, by the way, they have bounties out there, right? So if you can break the Solana testnet, you get a lot of money from them, right? I don't have it present right now, but there are prizes like $1 million or so if you break testnet. So if you think you can do it and destroy the liveness of the Solana testnet, by all means do it, right? You can earn a lot of money with that. And but also the Solana team itself will do way, way more tests and way, way more scenarios before we move it into mainnet. And, it's just a piece of software. It is crazy complex, and it's going to grow, right? And there will be more features in there that detect these situations and are like self-healing and all these type of things. So, yeah, that is a little bit of, it is super performant, super scalable, but it has these issues. And everyone in the Solana community thinks that, no, we don't want to sacrifice liveness for speed or for scalability or anything like that. So everyone is focused on solving that liveness problem, solving that outages problem. And, for me, as someone that owns some Sol, being an investor, right, without me giving you investment advice or anything like that, all I'm saying in my videos is not financial advice. It's just for entertainment purposes only. But just that said, just for myself, would I sell my Sol now because there was another outage? I see it as a temporary problem. I see it as something that will be solved. And, with all of my investment, I have a long-term horizon. So I try to put myself into the future, 5 to 10 years into the future, and try to look back from the future until today, and then ask the question, what was that some crucial point where, it became clear that Solana is not fulfilling its purpose or stuff like that? I don't think it was, right? I think it's just one of those things that happen when software is young and these things will be resolved. But just because Solana is the only chain that has solved that trilemma and is the most scalable chain, which is important, right? It's all of crypto only has value at all if one day we're all going to be using it, right? But when we have billions of people using it, just as with real money, then crypto has its value. If it doesn't scale there, right, then in the long run, we won't make it. And, we can discuss now a lot of things like what's happening this year with this chain and that chain and what's happening this week, right? But in the end, I invest because I feel like I want to invest in that chain that can actually take over the world and can actually scale to billions of users. And I don't see any other chain, other than Solana that actually can do that. So yeah, that's how I see things. That's obviously a very personal view. You might have different views. Please let me know in the comments. And, I do a lot of videos about Solana because we're building on Solana. We're operating a Solana validator node, or two validator nodes for that matter, and 3 pieces of hardware. And yeah, we're insiders for Solana. But I also post about general blockchain subjects, blockchain educational content. And also, I post videos about the progress of our Bitoku blockchain that you see here, right here. And yeah, if you want to stay on top of this and learn more about these things, please consider subscribing to my channel. Hit the notification bell. Thanks for watching, and catch you later. Bye.